Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Under Armour Curry 8. Or is it the Curry brand Curry 8? Either way, what I'm trying to say is I'm bringing you all the performance review on Steph Curry's 8th signature sneaker, the Curry 8. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Curry 8 features a multi-directional traction pattern that kind of has like these nubs with some like radial patterns within those nubs. And the traction pattern on this shoe is freaking nuts. The whole thing about the traction on the Curry 8 is the fact that, you know, there's no rubber on the shoe. It's just all foam. So basically what you're getting is this midsole creates the outsole. And because of that, the traction on this shoe, like I said, is absolutely nuts. If you guys are playing on a clean court, you guys are going to stop on a dime. And when I say stop on a dime, I mean on a dime. Like, you guys are going to stop instantly. It's really, really aggressive. Like, the body's super aggressive, and there's no squeaking. There's no squeaking at all. You just stop, and then you know you're done moving, unless you just stop so hard and you're not used to it, and then you fall over. Because that did happen to me one time, because I just wasn't prepared for how hard this thing actually grips. And that was pretty consistent across all courts. Obviously though, on those dustier courts, this thing does actually pick up some dust, even though it doesn't have any rubber, so you will need to wipe. However, those moderately dusty to really clean courts, you guys are going to be able to stop on a dime, and wiping is very, very minimal. However, one thing I did notice about the traction though is up in the forefoot, the traction was really, really good. And like I said, you get those bites. But if you guys are ever on your heels and you're playing on those dustier courts, I actually felt some movement. Like, I would just be able to slide my heel around on those dustier courts. And even after wiping, I would still be able to slide my heel around just a little bit, more than I like, especially for how good the traction is up in the forefoot. So that is just something to keep in mind. However, I predominantly play on my forefoot, and I feel like most other players do as well too. So for all of you, the traction is awesome. Just make sure, if you are playing on those dustier courts, make sure you consistently wipe so you have that really insane bite. Moving on to the cushion, the Curry 8 features a full Under Armour Flow cushion. And this is a brand new cushion setup for the Curry line. I don't know if the Flow technology is in any other sneakers, but this is the first time that I personally have seen it. And overall, it's really nice. I would say that this is the best cushion setup in the Curry line so far. It is very comfortable. So you do actually have like a lot of impact protection in the heel. And obviously, as you move towards the forefoot area, it does get thinned out. But you still have like a very nice bounce coming out of it. It's not too much, not too little, just enough coming from this cushion setup, and it's really, really nice. But you also maintain that court feel and responsiveness that you really expect out of a Curry shoe. So the implementation of the Under Armour Flow cushion setup in the Curry 8 is actually really, really nice. Like I said, I think it's the best out of the Curry line so far. I think the second best is the Curry 6, because that hover felt really good, but this does feel a little bit better than that. So if you all like the cushion in the Curry 6, then you will definitely like the cushion in the Curry 8. It's definitely an improvement, and I'm really happy with the Flow cushioning in the Curry 8. So moving on to the materials, the Curry 8 features a lightweight, breathable, flat knit upper according to Under Armour, and the materials are actually pretty nice. In terms of knit, I wouldn't say it's like the best knit, but it is still very nice. And it is pretty soft up here in the forefoot area. And that knit serves as the base for the entire shoe. On top of that knit though, up in the higher wear areas, especially, where you need containment, you do have these synthetic overlays on the lateral side and on the medial side, which just helps keep yourself contained on the footbed. And overall, I would say that the material usage is actually pretty good. Like I said, it's a knit upper, and knit uppers, depending on how they're implemented on the shoe, can be a hit or miss. And I think they did a great job with it on this shoe. It's very comfortable, very lightweight. I would say it's kind of breathable, but not really at the same time, because most of the holes up here in the toe box area and everywhere else are pretty much just like closed up. but maybe they had to do that to make sure that, you know, the material doesn't overstretch or anything like that, just to make sure that, you know, you are supported in the shoe. But overall, from a material standpoint, I do enjoy the materials in the shoe. And then in terms of that performance, the materials get the job done just fine. Overall, I think that they did a great job with the materials on the Curry 8. So moving on to the fit, the Curry 8 does fit true to size in my opinion. For all of you that are wide footers, or I guess like slightly wide footers, I should say, I think going true to size is fine. Hella wide footers, you may want to go up a half size. I didn't have any problems being a slightly wide footer and going true to size, but I could probably see some issues in the, like this area, the toe area where these synthetic panels are, just maybe like pinching your feet if you do have really wide feet. So like I always say, you know, try these on in stores if possible, but if you can't, I think for hella wide footers, I think going up a half size is the way to go. But everyone else, true to size is perfectly fine. Overall, I would say that the fit is pretty good. There is, however, some dead space up in the toe box area, and I'm not sure if you can see this right here, but if you all like to crank your laces down just like I do, you're gonna get some bundling up the materials right here, and it's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is, and you know, you just gotta deal with it. I wouldn't say that you feel it too much, but you can notice the dead space up in the toe box area just a little bit. And if you're really nitpicky, then yeah, you'll definitely notice. But me personally, I didn't really notice too much. You know, when you're playing, you're really not focused on that unless it's really a lot of dead space that just creates like a funky feeling in the toe box of the shoe. This didn't have that problem, it's just there. Honestly, if it weren't for this dead space up in the toe box area, this would have an almost one-to-one fit and it would have felt amazing. But yeah, overall, the fit in the Curry 8 is pretty good. Just note that there is some dead space up in the toe box area. So moving on to the support, I thought the support in the Curry 8 was perfectly fine. I didn't have any issues, and you know, coming from a Curry model, I would expect the shoe to have really nice support. In the heel, you do have an external heel counter, which you can see right here. And yeah, it does the job just fine. Make sure that your heel isn't going anywhere. You also have a lot of padding in the heel area just to make sure that your heel is nice and sucked into the shoe. Up in the forefoot, I didn't have any side-to-side movement on the footbed. And like I was saying earlier, you know, these synthetic panels on the lateral and medial sides really help keep your foot on that footbed to make sure that you're not going anywhere. Because like I said, you know, you're gonna stop on a dime, and you have to make sure that you're not getting any additional movement out of the shoe that's not intended. You also have a fairly wide base on the Curry 8, which just, you know, make sure that you're protected on those lateral movements. You have a lot of lateral stability. And the Curry 8 features a flexible P-backs plate for that torsional rigidity and stability. So overall, I would say that the support in the Curry 8 is good. It has pretty much everything that you want and nothing that you don't. So moving on to the price, the Curry 8 definitely got a price increase. The Curry 8 is now $160, and I believe that's a $20 increase, which is pretty significant. But in terms of the performance, is it worth it? I would say yes. The traction is absolutely insane. Like, this is the best traction. Like the bite is just honestly so hard that if you're not ready for it, you could, you know, maybe injure yourself, I guess. So just make sure you're prepared for that. But yeah, the traction is really, really good. The cushion is actually really nice as well, and the materials are pretty good. The only thing about the shoe that I guess I kind of have a problem with is the fact that there is some dead space up in the toe box area. And you know, for me personally, the back heel, you know, I mentioned that traction in the heel area of the shoe can get a little slick at times, even after wiping, but that was only on the really dusty courts. And you know, personally, like, that didn't bother me too much because I do play on my forefoot primarily, but it is just something to note, and something that I wish was a little bit better on the shoe. Outside of those issues, yes, I would say this is a great performer. I would highly recommend you all pick up a pair because the issues that I said are so minor that it really doesn't bother me. And yeah, I really enjoy playing in the shoe. If you want to have one of the best tractions out there on the market right now, this shoe is definitely one of those. If you all wanted to pick up a pair of the Curry 8s, I would say go for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. While you're at it, smash that thumbs up button for me, as it really does help me out. Also, check out this video on my left and on my right, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.